Hi, my name is Ali and my pronouns are she, her. Today, let's talk about Smosh. If you somehow don't know who Smosh are, I'm a little confused but flattered as to why this is the first video you've chosen to watch after 25 years of hibernation. But welcome to the channel. Smosh was/is a sketch comedy group founded by Ian Hecox and Anthony Padilla all the way back before YouTube even existed in the internet dark ages of 2002. They were the first channel to hit 10 million subscribers, they have 2 feature-length films under their belt, and their eclectic, lol, random white boy energy inspired a whole generation of children like me to just completely waste their time and money on a film degree. Over the span of 2005 to Anthony's departure from the group in 2017, Smosh produced so many classic YouTube sketches, such as Homeless Millionaire and the Spanish dub of Homeless Millionaire. Speaking of that, by the way, did you guys know that on Smosh, the Spanish dub channel, instead of opening the videos with the iconic "shut up" sound, they replace it with this?
La gente calva ha de estar tan rica que ni tiene que comprar champú. Silencio!
Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. The point of this video is I actually want to focus on the musical side of Smosh, and to be honest with you guys, the title of this video is a bit of a lie. I didn't just watch every single Smosh music video. I listened to every Smosh album. That's right, from 2010 to 2015, Smosh released 5 studio compilation albums made up of musical sketches from the main channel, short songs that appeared in longer sketches, and even completely original songs with no accompanying sketch or music video to them. So with all that out of the way, let's dive into Smosh's studio album catalog and see if we learn anything about anything, I guess. Hi, before we get into the music, I just want to iterate real quick that these sketches originate from the dark ages of the internet, so I'm gonna put up a content warning for all of this stuff. I'm gonna try to keep the video lighthearted, but if this is too much for you, feel free to click off, and if not, let's move on to the first Smosh album. Yay!
He's the boxman. He's the boxman. Shut up!
Released just in time for the holiday season on December 15th, 2010, Sexy Album is the debut album from Smosh and contains 17 tracks of smoshy goodness. That's not the real tagline. Also, I want to make it clear up front that I'm not going to discuss every single track off of every single album, or this is going to become insanely repetitive. Track 1, Renaissance Love, is a spoken word intro to the album that introduces us to the characters William and Guinevere. They never show up again, so skipping over the rest of that intro, the first actual song on here with an accompanying music video is Firetruck. The premise here is really simple. Ian and Anthony use the word firetruck as a polite substitute for fuck, and then they show you all the different situations where you can use firetruck instead of fuck. Hilarity ensues. And look, I went into these Smosh albums expecting there to be a lot of content that did not age very well, and I was not expecting the first song to be the most egregious example on the entire album.
Out your mom is your dad! Fire truck!
Yeah. That's so funny. I don't really have a ton to say about this song. It's a pretty basic concept done with pretty basic Smosh execution. And the only thing I wrote in my notes for this song was, I really hope Ian doesn't keep doing this voice for every track. So I hope that that note doesn't age as poorly as the transphobia did. I want to make it clear real quick that I don't think that current modern day Ian and Anthony are bigoted or transphobic or anything like that. And while that doesn't make the stuff that they said in the past retroactively okay, I did just want to make it clear that I don't think they're terrible people or anything. Anthony actually has this series on his own channel where he tries to spend a day with people in the same way that like Mr. Beast spends a day in jail. But he has videos where he attempts to educate himself and his audience on trans people intersex people, indigenous people, and I do think that that is very admirable and shows a lot of growth, and so I just wanted to throw this in there to say that I don't think that they're currently terrible people. This sketch is super transphobic, though. Firetruck is really bad. Anyways, track 3 is definitely one that a lot of you Smosh heads will recognize, and that's Pokemon theme song Revenge. For those unfamiliar with the general lore and mythos around this one, Smosh got their start on YouTube recording like lip-syncing videos to very popular songs, and their one for the Pokemon theme song specifically was the most viewed YouTube video on the entire site, with 24 million views, before it was overtaken, of course, by Mr. Beast's Squid Game. This video was such a defining moment for YouTube and the internet as a whole. It was literally featured in Time magazine, okay? This was a big freaking deal. Unfortunately, though, the Pokemon Company would have the original video removed for copyright, so this video is basically a parody of that set to the Pokemon theme song, with Smosh giving a big middle finger to the big bad corporation for taking down their goofy little dork video. And while I admire at the time that the YouTube community rallied around Smosh for this, I do have to at least point out the obvious, which is that the original video is copyright infringement.
What did you see? It was a parody!
It's not a parody, though. They played the Pokemon theme song in its entirety and just danced over it. Like, there's a reason I'm only showing you short clips of Smosh and not, like, the entire song, and it's not just because I'm trying to spare you of Ian's funny voice, it's because I'm trying to prevent Smosh from unleashing a plague of copyright with a subtle hint of irony upon me. But copyright debacle aside, the music video for this one is kinda cute. They do a bunch of scene recreations from the original with the same shots and clothes and everything, and it's honestly adorable. Look, they even redo this dumb Anthony Mon joke. It's so charming. But then they add in this other plot line where the Pokemon Company starts sending ninjas to their house, and it's like, whoa, this shit's crazy. This is like John Wick for nerds. But easily, the best part of this video is after they kill Ryan Higa, for a single frame, there is this Anthony jump scare. I don't understand its purpose, but it is such a good bit. Apparently the Anthony jump scare is another shot taken directly from the original Pokemon video, so Smosh's comedy really peaked early.
You teach me and I'll teach you. Hi.
For track 4, we're going all the way back to 2007 with Hardcore Max. The instrumental for this one is like if Michael Gira gave up and Filth Era Swans was just made in GarageBand. I wrote that joke into the script before I found out that the song was actually recorded in GarageBand, so that's a point for Allie. The song follows a badass guy named Max, and other than a quirky moment of derogatory and misogynistic language, this track is kind of funny. I guess charming is like the best term to describe it. There's this moment where the footage is just like normal footage of Max just riding a bike and Ian's just going off like it's the greatest thing he's ever seen, and it's honestly kind of funny.
Max is a badass motherfucker. If you don't fucking believe me, look at his motherfucking helmet on his motherfucking handlebars. Holy shit, that guy is hardcore.
For a super early Smosh vid, this one's not that bad, and my only real complaint is that it could have been way shorter by like a minute and a half, but you know, I'm sure that's not a complaint I will have with any other Smosh song. The next track I want to talk about is Cute Furry Kittens, which is completely unlistenable.
That was a big mistake, and I'll tell you why.
This is apparently the first ever Smosh sketch to not feature Anthony whatsoever, something that would become very prevalent from 2017 onwards. This whole song just feels like an outburst that someone would have to make their whole friend group laugh, but everyone just kind of sits there awkwardly and the bit just keeps dragging on and on and on. You know, it's like one of those random XD videos that's supposed to make the viewer comment, so that just happened. WTF did I just watch? The only funny thing about this song, which is not funny for the ways that they intend, is the plug for Smosh.com during the outro card.
To see the 30 best lolcats ever, click the...
Another song I regrettably want to highlight is the longest and arguably most insufferable song here, and that is Boxman. This absolute journey of a 5-minute ballad follows Boxman as he becomes homeless, and then he becomes a box, and then he just kind of like f***s around for 3 minutes. The final verse of this song, which takes up like 3.5 minutes, is just Ian saying, "He's the Boxman," over and over and over again.
The Boxman, he's the Boxman, Boxman, the Boxman, 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 he's the Boxman, the Boxman, he's the Boxman.
Also, can I just ask, what is going on in this scene?
What's up, homie? You know that Boxman?
Yeah, he used to be part of my clique.
Yeah, but what about now?
I don't know, man. He can suck my...
What is this? What is that? What is that, Smosh? According to the Smosh wiki, these characters are called the Gangstas. They're apparently like reoccurring antagonists, and in the Smosh lore, their names are A-Dizzle and I-Dog. They speak with a heavy gangsta accent and have a mutual love for guns, gold, women, and violence. This is terrible, but it's also like clearly a child's interpretation of like what a gangster is. And I love that they don't love like money, they love gold, like they're pirates or something. The next song on this album is called Milky Milkshake, and it's actually an extended version of a song from a Smosh sketch called My Mom's Amazing Video.
Never negotiate with terrorists.
Now, unfortunately, the full music video is a Smosh.com exclusive and has been lost to time because of that. But don't worry, I found a YouTube re-upload, which looks like this.
Milky milkshake, milky milkshake, dancing with my milkshake, baby, oh yeah.
This song is, repugnant, but don't fret, because if you're listening to the album version, they make it even worse, because they add right after it a Stephen Hawking remix, which like could be offensive, but I can't tell because they mix Stephen's audio so quietly, I have no idea what he's trying to say.
One time I drank 5 women and my girl. Milkshakes make me...
This album also features 2 holiday bonus tracks for hardcore Christians and Smosh heads, the overlap of which is much larger than you would think. The first of these 2 Christmas songs is called Boxman's Christmas. Damn it! So Boxman is apparently a recurring bit. I think my main problem with the Boxman videos is that he really isn't a character. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, the joke is that Boxman is a box, and he doesn't really have much of a personality beyond that. I don't think this one's as bad as the first Boxman one, because at least this one has a little bit of a plot, and also because this girl gets beamed in the back of the head with a snowball. Also, that girl has a small singing role, marking the first ever guest vocalist on a Smosh song. That's a win for the girlies. Let's see what she has to say.
Calm down, guys. No need to fight. I can give y'all some tonight.
That sounds pretty good. Ma was right.
Incredible. The second holiday bonus track is called Christmas with Billy, which features the iconic Smosh character Billy Hamburger. That's his real name, and that's also the funniest joke Smosh has ever made. Now, this wasn't a part of the main channel videos, it was actually uploaded to the second channel as a part of the Ian is Bored series. I'll let Ian explain why that is.
This week, I'm actually going to show you guys a video that we actually recorded last Christmas. It was actually a video that we made and then decided to never put up because it was so bad, but this is Ian is Bored. I can put up whatever crap I want. We figured, hey, if Fred can make a Christmas song, why can't our fictional 9-year-old character Billy make a Christmas song? Or I don't even know how old he's supposed to be. And it's really, really rough and really bad, so don't think that it's going to be some amazing thing. But in my opinion, it's still better than most of the other Christmas songs that are around.
Hanging out just for this Christmas time. Hanging out for Christmas. Oh yeah. Grandma, no, get out the. Oh no, Grandma. Grandma just got hit by a reindeer. Oh. I still love Christmas though because I don't get any crap. I get a bunch of Grandma.
In my opinion, it's still better than most of the other Christmas songs that are around.
2011!
Released just in time for the holiday season on November 11th, 2011. I just realized that's 11/11/11. Oh, I'm so stupid. On 11/11/11, Smosh released If Music Were Real. Unironically, that title goes hard. I know some of you don't think it does, but like if Jack Stauber released an album with that exact title, indie girlies would eat that shit up. Especially me, I would. We open with another album exclusive intro track that's basically just a Smosh skit in audio form.
Ugh, this music is terrible. No one would actually want to listen to this crap.
That's what I'm saying. From there, though, we move on to the first proper song of the album, and I know it's one that a lot of people have been anticipating, and that's The Legend of Zelda rap. Now, right off the bat, I actually have to give major props for the leap in production value on this one. The outdoor environment and the dungeon are both really solid set pieces, and the CGI for the ring around Death Mountain or the moon from Majora's Mask is really, really cute. And I definitely want to draw attention to this interview with Go Nintendo, where Ian and Anthony claim that their costume designer, Jacqueline Gohenner, made all the costumes for this video from scratch. Like, that's awesome. Like, look at Anthony's Ganon costume. Like, genuinely, that's so impressive. However, the song itself is...
Hey, look, listen, an annoying fairy. I'd rather be forced to listen to constant Katy Perry.
It could be better. Hey guys, Bad Allison here again. I just wanted to cut in and say that they make so many jokes about Link being gay, and they never call him Twink. It's just a missed opportunity, I'm just saying. Overall, this video is incredibly well made, especially for 2011, and I don't want to downplay that whatsoever. However, with the amount of time, money, and production that went into this, it does tend to lose some of the original charm of early Smosh sketches like Hardcore Max. Speaking of Hardcore Max, guess who gets a sequel on this album? Oh, hell yeah! Hardcore Max is back, and he is better than ever, baby.
Max doesn't stop at stop signs because they're retarded.
Okay, never mind. Also, if anyone has this poster that they advertise at the end of the video, email me. I just realized I completely skipped over the song Meat in Your Mouth. The next song on here is called Most Epic Vacation Ever, parentheses, Cannon Penis. Much like Christmas with Billy, this is another track ripped from the Ian is Bored series, and that's really all I have to say about this one.
I'm going to kill you.
I don't think I ever saw this one as a kid, but apparently the phrase canon penis became really popular in the Smosh fandom. So I don't know, I hope this next clip triggers like a Ratatouille-esque childhood flashback for someone watching this video. Also, can someone please explain to me what is going on in the outro card for this one?
Let's go make some crazy facial hair. I call this one, hey buddy, you wanna go get some beer?
The next song on here is called Segway Polo, and it's yet another Ian is Bored track. And initially I rolled my eyes at that. I didn't want another Ian is Bored track, but I'm gonna be honest, this is the funniest song Smosh has ever made.
There's an ambulance in case you get a boo-boo. This guy's going through a midlife crisis.
It's not perfect by any means, there are definitely a few duds in there, but it occasionally steps out of that random XD humor and into more of like absurdist, surrealist Eric Andre territory. Hey guys, Future Allison here. I'm working on editing this video right now, and I don't know why I said that about the Eric Andre thing. This sketch, it's not that deep. It's not that funny. It's really bad, actually. It's really awful.
Miss, shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot. Whoa, score, you win!
There's apparently a segment near the end of this video that had to be edited out because Ian just showed a shot of some random girl's boobs. And I couldn't think of anything more Smosh than that. At this point in my listen, I was honestly feeling pretty good about these songs, and I didn't love any of them, but there were at least moments that made me laugh or I thought the production value was solid. And so I just kind of figured the second half of the album, as long as it kept up that energy, would be just as solid. But ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folks, the album then hits us with 3 fucking Boxman songs. Why? The first one is called Boxman's Girlfriend. It's about Boxman getting a girlfriend. Why does the start of every Boxman video look like an art house film? This overall just plays out like the first 2 Boxman videos where Boxman goes and does this thing, and then this thing happens. Uh-oh, this happens, but it's okay because this thing happens. Like, it's got the same plot structure as Final Fantasy III. Ultimately, I would say this thing is pretty forgettable until this scene where Boxman and his girlfriend get to a restaurant and the waiter drops this information.
Why you with the box when you're looking so hot? You know that kind of thing will get you shot. Humans and boxes just don't intertwine. I could have you arrested for this crime.
What's wrong with you, man? It's the 21st century. Why you gotta go and act so elementary? I'm human inside, although it doesn't show. Come on, baby. Let's go.
You know, I didn't think to mention this when talking about the first Boxman song because I didn't think it was super notable, but there's this part where Boxman tries to get into a building and there's just like a sign that says no boxes allowed. Is this a metaphor for racism? You know, I initially criticized Boxman because I said that he had no personality and that he wasn't very special, but the more I look at it, maybe that's the point. Maybe it's supposed to show us how Boxman is just like you and me. That there's nothing particular about him that sets him apart. And if you thought that there would be something that made him different, you know, you're no better than the bigoted waiter. You know, I think I might have underestimated Smosh's writing. And like, sure, they've had some moments that haven't aged like super incredibly, but I feel like it's moments like this that really show that they are incredibly socially conscious and aware of
Boxman has got a girlfriend. Boxman has got a boyfriend.
Anyways, moving on to our fourth Boxman video. This one is titled Boxman for President, and initially, I did not give a shit about the premise of this song, but after the massive lore drop about the apparently rampant racism against box people in this world that is so bad that you can get shot for just associating with Boxman, I'm actually just really curious now about what he has to say about improving America for the better.
Let's talk about the war in Iraq and how we're wasting our time with that crap. It would be faster with my new policy to just nuke each enemy country.
Oh my god. The fifth and final Boxman video is called Boxman 2.0, and it opens with Boxman being a gentle soul that is just living, laughing, and loving, before a studio executive politely tells him that maybe he should consider revamping his image.
Say something better!
But like, I don't know where this sudden characterization came from, because you're not a chill, lovable guy, Boxman. You're wanted for attempted murder.
He's wanted for attempted murder.
So then he joins a gang and then he becomes homeless, which is literally the plot of the first Boxman video. And then he f***s off. I don't know. This one sucks. I don't care. This is, as of this date, the final appearance of Boxman on Smosh. So rest in peace, Boxman. You will not be missed. The final song on this album I want to touch on is the track Anthony's Gone, parentheses, Creed, which is only notable for two reasons. One, the title, which has aged incredibly well, and two, is that it comes from a video called Anthony is Mexican, which has not aged incredibly well.
You're like the only guy I know that doesn't celebrate his heritage. I think you can learn a lot from knowing where you're from. I know.
All right, Ian, you ready to do this?
Sure, I just gotta make sure my pitch is perfect.
Shut up!
Released just in time for the holiday season on December 3rd, 2012, the world was blessed with Smosh's third studio album, Smoshtastic. I know when this record came out, listeners all over the world must have thought to themselves, gee, I wonder what funny YouTube girly Alison Indigo will have to say about this album in 10.5 years. And guys, I'm really sorry to disappoint, but this thing sucks. The album opens with yet another intro skit. And dude, it feels so phoned in. The second Smosh album closed with laser pterodactyls that kill Obama or some shit. And the one for Smoshtastic just sounds like,
Kick that nasty beat.
Actually, can you kick it? I just don't feel like beat kicking today.
Fine.
What up, party people? Get ready for a treat.
okay, so after that, the first real song we get is actually a really strong start. Apparently, this is the most viewed music video Smosh has ever released, and it's one probably a lot of you have seen, which is the Assassin's Creed 3 rap. This track isn't really that funny at all, but it just kind of like unironically sounds good at times. I don't know if Smosh music has permanently damaged my brain, but Anthony's vocal performance on the chorus is super catchy to me, and I constantly find myself just like humming it under my breath. You know, we've gotten a few songs at this point where it's just Ian, and so it's actually really nice to see one where it's just Anthony singing.
I'm getting my wigs powdered, wear boxes, outerwear, briefs.
This song has been immensely ingrained in my brain, and yet I don't remember Ian being in it whatsoever. Overall though, this is definitely one of the better, if not the best song they've ever made. At best, it's a guilty pleasure, and at worst, Ian shows up.
You can't step up to me and my gang!
Okay, I know I've been bringing up the Smosh wiki like a ton in this video, but I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't read some of the trivia that's listed for this song. The guy who looks like Benjamin Franklin is wearing a wristwatch, even though they were not invented until the early 1900s, and the song takes place in the 1700s, making the music video, not 100% accurate. When Anthony says mofo on the chorus, he's referring to the British Army as motherfuckers. It is impossible. It is impossible for Anthony to kill the deer with one arrow, cook it, and put barbecue sauce on the deer meat that quickly. At 46 seconds in, there seems to be a Wilhelm scream coming from the soldier. This is perhaps one of Smosh's most violent videos, as Connor Kenway, played by Anthony, and George Washington, played by Ian, were both seen frequently killing people in rather graphic and bloody fashions. This video became very popular due to the lyrics, as the fan favorite word from the video is "tomahawk chop is my death blow." Can you tell I'm stalling for time because I don't have a ton to say about Smoshtastic? Track 3 is a really weird one in the sense that it's not very weird at all and is incredibly predictable. This song is called Parents Suck, and it's about how parents suck. I seriously don't even remember much from this one, and there aren't even really any jokes that stand out. Like, they make the same joke about being naked 4 times, and that's like all I remember.
Grab a sandwich, eat it butt naked on the rug. Crap on the rug, take a big poo. Crap on the rug, cold outside.
It comes across like they figured the concept of making like a crunkcore song about how parents are bad is funny on its own. And I feel like that's the thing about this album as a whole, is it's the first Smosh record that feels really, really corporate and watered down. I'll give you another example. Track 7 on this album is called Penis Song. Track 7 on this record is called Penis Song. It's not funny. It's a heavy metal track performed by a guest singer who is supposed to be Ian, I think.
Watch out! I'll slap your face with a big ass straw.
Wow, Metallica really fell off. The whole joke of this thing is that the word pen 15 written out looks like the word penis, and it's like, haha guys, isn't it so funny that we're doing this epic sounding song, but the lyrics are actually really juvenile and fucked up? And it's like, yeah dude, I've listened to a single Ninja Sex Party song. I get the gimmick. I can see this humor coming from a mile away. Plus, this is a bit of a side tangent, but there is a full medley of tracks that all come from the video My Best Friend is a Robot, and if you watch the whole skit, it is so predictable. They see this ad for a robot that's a little spooky, and Ian really wants one, and his mom warns him that he can have it, but not to set it to the 5th friendship setting. And then Ian does that, and oh no, that's the kill mode. He's gonna kill you.
I don't think I like this mode.
I don't think I like this mode. My camera died, but I brought it back to life so I could keep talking about Smosh. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that these albums are clearly becoming more and more corporate, and it's clear that the yearly release schedule is just sort of resulting in them throwing whatever onto this album just to meet a Christmas deadline. And the worst offender of that, by far, is the song Best Food in the World.
It can be black, it can be red, on the moon or in your bed. It's the best food in the world. In the pocket of your pants, in the West or old time France. It's the best food in the world.
What is this? Ian and Anthony aren't even in this one. Did they have anything to do with this? Who are these people? Why is this like a literal song for babies? Why is it on the Smosh album? What the hell is going on?
What? Seriously? You are officially the worst storyteller ever. That ending.
Released just in time for the holiday season on November 30th, 2013. The ears of millions were blessed with the sweet sound of Smosh, the fourth studio record by this iconic comedy duo. There's actually no skit, intro, or outro this time, and instead they make up for it by loading the back half of this record with bonus tracks, which are all remixes of other Smosh songs. There's one on here called Parents Suck, brackets, Beast Mode. If you're curious what that means, the wiki says it's the same lyrics altogether, but an electric guitar is played to make it sound evil. The first song on here is an all-time classic, and that is Dixon, Cider.
Grab your girl and have some Dixon cider. And show her love with your Dixon cider. And fill her full with lots of Dixon cider. And a mouthful flowing down inside her.
Earlier I skipped over a song on the second album called Meat in Your Mouth, and that's pretty much because this song is the exact same joke but better, which really isn't saying much. And in case you didn't get it, by the way, in case you didn't get what the joke was, the reason why this is funny is because much like the Assassin's Creed 3 song from the previous album, this song is like annoyingly catchy, but unlike the Assassin's Creed 3 song, I hate it. I will say I can give it some praise. There's this breakdown about halfway through, and the production on Ian's voice and the percussion is like kind of wild. This is actually one of the few Smosh songs that's still on Spotify, and it's by far their most streamed song, and I'll admit it, it's a little catchy, okay? It's a little catchy. I know a lot of you may be thinking, Alison Rose Indigo. For someone who said that they hate this song, you're giving it a shocking amount of praise. Why did you say you hate it? Take a guess.
I was 13 when I had my first Dixon salad. I had so much when I topped, I was slurred. Parents didn't like it, there was nothing they could do. Then my mama tried and she started slurring too.
Again, by the way, shout out to the wiki, because I now know that this video was released on the same day as Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Are they related in some way? Why is this on here? Another big song I want to highlight here is the Assassin's Creed 4 song. I actually didn't know that this one existed. Unlike the actual Assassin's Creed games, this one was not as popular as the previous one. And for good reason. The only note I made of this song was that it sounds like a rejected B-side from the Tony Hawk's Underground OST. God, I love Tony Hawk's Underground. I fucking love Tony Hawk. I want to go play Tony Hawk's Underground right now. Also, look familiar? Okay, so if I had to describe the rest of the album from here on out, I would label it as corporate filler, even more so than the previous one. For example, I talked about how Parents Suck and the Penis song are just both like, haha, they're doing something they think is really cool and that they look really cool, but actually it's really dorky. They do that same gag 3 more times on this album.
High school, driver's ed, iDog, and A-Dizzle.
Great, A-Dog and iPhone are back. That's awesome. There are also 4 different songs on this album that are all like 20 seconds in length, and they all come from the same sketch about Disney buying Star Wars.
Nicolas Cage as R2-D2.
I'm Nick Cage.
Which is a pretty solid, albeit predictable concept, but in execution, it literally doesn't even make sense half the time. Like, the Millennium Falcon is just replaced by a guy in a chicken costume, because that's funny. And then they kill Jar Jar Binks in like a really brutal way. Like, Did you forget that the joke of Disney buying Star Wars is that they're gonna make it less violent and they're gonna water it down and make it more corporate? You know, like your YouTube channel? I will at the very least give props to this visual gag where the two sons of Tatooine are aligned to look like Mickey Mouse. That's just a really solid bit. You know what's not a solid bit though? 3 of these songs come from the 2013 Smosh Christmas special.
On the 3rd day of the end of Christmas, we got some rabid rats and let them loose to eat all the Santa hats.
They got all these YouTube guest stars, and none of them sing on any of these songs. They have all of these YouTube legends, like Ryan Higa, who no longer makes videos, and Jenna Marbles, who no longer makes videos, and PewDiePie.
Hey, how's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie.
Hey, PewDiePie.
So yeah, that's pretty much every song on here. Wait, what the fuck? What the hell is Corn Cob featuring Ryan Todd?
They call me Corn. They call me Cob. McDonald came and margarita ride.
Oh my god, they're doing the food bit again. Why is this on the Smosh album? Ian and Anthony didn't even make this. I'm done. I'm done with this one. No. I forgot to listen to the Beast Mode remix. Would you believe me if I told you it was not very good? Released just in time for the holiday season on December... Released just in time for the holiday season on December 10th, 2015. Shut Up and Listen is the 5th and final studio album from Smosh, hopefully ever. This is their longest album they've made at 52 minutes, and it's coincidentally by far their worst album. Okay, so I made a list of everything I enjoyed from this one. Montage Machine is a parody of montage films, and it's super predictable, but there's this joke where Anthony dies and they do a fake outro card.
Hey guys, thanks so much for subscribing. Click the video on the left to see behind.
50 years later, you get resurrected.
It's actually got me the first time that I listened to it. I love meta shit like this. Moms Are the Bomb has a bit of charm, I guess. Like, the same amount and level of charm as a birthday card that says fuck.
Hey mom, you're the bomb for giving us a home and not grounding me for news you found on my phone. I'm so glad that impregnated you, and 9 months later I was out of your womb.
I'm sure some mom with no sense of humor out there probably really likes this one, and good for her, honestly. In the Netflix song, Ian looks like if Saul Goodman came from Halloween Town. That's not something they did intentionally, I just think it's funny. Okay, that's all the nice stuff I had to say. Anyways, Sex Turban is super racist.
Cultural appropriation is super serious.
Shut up!
Oh.
It's a turban that's made of sex. My ancestors were oppressed.
Okay, so this album actually opens with our final video game song, the Smash Bros rap, and it's by far the worst one that they've ever made, easily. First of all, this song sounds like ass.
We start the party out best of friends, and you think the fun never ends. We used to be tight like brothers, by the end you wanna marry each other.
Second of all, the visuals are so boring. No shade to the costume department, but because there's so many of these characters, it's obvious that they're cutting corners on some of these outfits. Even like Ian, who's playing the main character, his Mega Man costume looks so cheap and awful. Probably the worst thing about this song, though, is the lyrics. Like, the first fight in the video is Mega Man versus Samus, and Mega Man's whole rap is just him, like, calling Samus ugly. And it's like, have you seen Zero Suit Samus? Like, are we talking about the same Zero Suit Samus? It's all just based on dissing the other person's appearance, and it's clear that they make no effort to do any actual research, especially with the next matchup, where Mega Man fights Villager from Animal Crossing. And let me ask you guys, what is the most obvious joke you could make about this guy being in a game where people fight one another?
Let's get this over quick. I'm dirty. Need a bath. Filled with all your blood after I murdered your ass. I'll start at the top. I hear the scalp tastes nice. Don't worry, Blue Eyes. I'll just try a little slice.
Look, I'm a massive Animal Crossing fan. I know. A trans woman who's into Animal Crossing. Very original. But I have heard this same bit about, like, what if Animal Crossing was secretly super dark for years and years, and it's never been funny once? It is the same energy as a 2004 Newgrounds cartoon where the punchline is like, what if Mario is on mushrooms and Bowser has a gun and Luigi was gay? There's so much more I could say about this song, and ultimately, I just really don't want to, because a lot of it is just like really gross out humor that I've been avoiding talking about, and it's made writing this section really difficult. For the last segment of this video, I'm not going to give any of my own commentary. I am just going to describe in my own words the plot of the video, My Bathroom Disaster. You see that? You see that thumbnail? Here's a time code if you'd rather skip this. Last chance. Okay, so Anthony is on a date and he goes to the bathroom for sitcom antics, and after a string of incredibly gross jokes about bodily functions and body hair, he gets hit on by a cop, and then his date runs in and lifts up her skirt because apparently she's a trans woman.
I guess my date is a dude?
But then his actual date comes in and says that's her identical twin brother. And then the cop starts hitting on the trans woman, and then Anthony takes out a gun and threatens to shoot the trans woman, but says he can't tell them apart. As the trans woman pleads that he doesn't have to shoot either of them, her sister subtly tries to motion that Anthony should in fact shoot the trans woman. Instead, Anthony shoots the cop for no reason. Then I guess he hates cops, which is kind of based, but then he leaves and has a threesome with his date and the trans woman after nearly threatening to shoot her with a gun. Also, the wiki refers to her as a transsexual.
I'm leaving Smosh. Or I guess as of today, I've left Smosh. Oh, God. Wow.
So, I have basically been doing nothing for a week straight other than working on and editing this video. What started as a fun video idea that I hadn't really seen anyone else do before has turned into a video bordering on 40 minutes in length, and I am so exhausted. I feel like shit. I'm losing sleep. I can taste the tang of blood and metal in the back of my throat. By all accounts, I feel like a girl who has listened to all 5 Smosh albums. And I keep coming back to the question of why I did this, why I decided to do this, and I keep coming back to the idea that this would make for a fun video. And I am proud of this video. I think it's very good, but why these songs? Why Smosh? Why did I go down this route specifically? And I think it's a mixture of morbid curiosity and nostalgia. And I'm clearly not the only one who feels nostalgia for these songs. On every single video that I had to watch for this project, the comments are filled with people saying that they miss this era of Smosh, that this was their childhood, that they're so glad that Ian and Anthony are back together, and that they hope to get more songs like these. And I just don't get it. And of course I could just chalk this up to people not actually missing the music itself, but rather missing the childlike mindset they were in and the place in life that they were at when they saw these videos. But these comments make it really clear that these people are returning, and that they're coming back to these after all these years and saying that they're still good, and maybe even better than when they were kids. And I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm missing something. Wait. I am missing something. I forgot to talk about one of the songs. The apology song. Every apology ever, I guess. This is a 2019 Smosh song. This was made after Anthony was gone. It's not on any of the albums. People really seem to like this one, too. Could this actually be one that I enjoy? 2019 is 4 years after Shut Up and Listen. Maybe there's a chance that Smosh has grown and evolved. Could this song be Smosh for the modern era? I guess there's only one way to find out. Here it is. The apology song.
All aboard the toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of misinformation.
This is the funniest song Smosh has ever made. Hi. Thank you for watching my first video on this channel. I'm still a little nervous about being on camera and everything, so I hope I didn't come across as like too awkward or anything. But I mean, if you made it this far, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you like this video, remember to like it, hit subscribe, share it with a friend who likes Smosh, or maybe you don't. I was very critical of them in this video. I don't have like a Patreon or anything, but if you want to support me financially, you can buy me a coffee with the link in the description. I also forgot to mention that I have a second channel. It's called Alison Is Not Funny. The link is in this. You know where it is. You know what I was gonna say. You can find it. I'm done. The next video that I'm working on should either be on an album that I love or an album that I hate. It just depends on whichever script I finish first. So, yeah, if you want to hear me talk about music that is not Smosh, please stick around. Okay, that's all. Bye!